Welcome back to Gravity this season. We're back at this sporting club in San Diego, California, and we're here working with volleyball. We talked about the defensive skill of blocking last time. This time we're going to talk about the defensive skill of digging. So we know that volleyball is a reactive sport. There's a lot of preloading involved and there's a lot of reaction and speed. These balls can be zinging around the room at somewhere up around 100 miles an hour. So the ability for me to identify, be positioned, and react and cover my lane is essential to the sport. Now what's neat about volleyball is not only do I have to be in position, but I have to be in position and dig the ball, and not only dig the ball, but get the ball to go where I want it to go. That's a difficult, it's almost a miracle that we're able to do that. So it's about reaction, it's about precision, and then your setter has that precise set to the outside hitter or the inside hitter, and that's where your power comes in. So it's a cycle. It's dig, it's position, it's dig, it's set, it's spike, it's block. It's all combined in the sport, and then there's all different types of strategies beyond that. So with our dig, I've brought some special help for me today. I have Katie. She's a trainer at the sporting club. Welcome. She's also a gravity trainer here in San Diego, and she's going to help me out by working with digging skills. So what we're going to do is just kind of warm up and demonstrate what happens in the body as we go through a dig. So it's not just about dig like this and you just go out and do the sport. We know that there's a lot more to it. So we practiced before was I said, hey Katie, if I do this, what's the first thing you're going to do? So if you can just freeze there for a moment. Similar to basketball, she's set in position. So when the server is up and serving the ball, usually you see everybody in this preloaded position. And she's kind of got her arms relaxed, she's ready to go, but she's preloaded. So she's lengthened her butt in the sagittal plane. She's lengthened her quads, her calves, everything in the different planes of motion, but she's ready. She's ready because there's not that amount of time to react, to be able to eccentrically load and then concentrically explode. So in volleyball, it's neat because we preload. We preload in the ready position, we're lengthened, and it's all we have to do now is explode into either a rotation, into a forward movement. Somewhere I've got kind of an invisible space around me that I have to cover the dig. So I might have to laterally lunge, I might have to forward lunge, or a combination, or some of the exciting stuff, which I'm not going to make Katie do, is you go into your dive rolls and then you have to recover, move back into position. So if you look at all those components of the dig, it's not just the dig. It's a whole sport, just the dig. So pick and choose as you want. If it can be coming out of a dive roll is the skill that you're looking to enhance with your client or your athlete, then so be it. Today, we're going to talk about how the arms affect the body. So we're going to back up and we're going to do a couple just basic warm-ups to demonstrate how when you're going through a dig, how the hands drive the rest of the body. So we'll start nice and easy. And she's really trying to get right back to me. And I'm going to start to go out of this easy stuff because now we're right in that middle lane. So she's getting it to me perfectly, and then I can set, and then we get the spike all set up. Now we start to go off to the sides, and that's all right. This is all supposed to happen. And she's got to react to that. So we go to the side, and then I go to the other side, and I go to the other side. And you can see that she's lunging, she's reaching, she's rotating. So all those components, if you take this tape and play it in slow motion and rewind it and look how she loaded and exploded, then you'll be able to see the exercises that you'll be able to do on the GTS. So let's do that one more time. Now I'm going to come with a little bit of speed because it's a reactive sport, and I'm going to come with the ball overhead. So I'm much closer to her than the server would be. But she has to have this, what we call isometric versatility. So she's here. Now she's got to be able to dive off in any of these directions. So I just called it isometric because of the position, versatility, meaning I can go a lot of places from here and a lot of places fast with the feet on the floor. You ready? So I'll just make it look scary. Good. All right, let me do a couple more. Oh, that was a good one. That was easy. Now I'm going to start to speed them up. Good, perfect. And you can see that these are going all over the place. One more, let's go one more. I'm going to really get you to go down and get it. Good, so you saw that she obviously had to turn. Instead of just reaching, I was trying to get her to lunge. So not only do we just reach, but we also lunge and reach. So you can kind of see where I'm headed with this. As we move over to the GTS, you're sure going to see a lot of this lunging and reaching. So we may pre-position here. We may just go into one-sided type of lunges and reach here, because you got to go down, you got to go back, you got to go up, but you're primarily weight bearing on one side. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start with a lateral lunge. What a lateral lunge is, and you know this equipment better than I do probably, is you're going to place your foot on this, one foot on the glide board, and you're going to just start to lunge with your left leg. Now I'm going to go get some toys. And you'll see as she goes into her lunge, kind of looks and smells like that dig, doesn't it? And now I'm going to have her just drive her arms as if I'm going to throw the ball. So you're going to lunge out, and I'm going to throw this ball at you. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not really going to throw it. So I'm just going to get you to react to it. So I come out here so you can see her kind of rotate and dig. So she's getting trunk rotation. Her eyes are driven by the ball. Maybe I go a little further. She's really got to go out there. So I'm conditioning her leg. I'm conditioning the entire kinetic chain to do what she does in volleyball. It's not rocket science, it's just a matter of duplication and applying to the GTS. So your lateral lunge, now you've got different tweaks. I could take a free weight and put it in her hand. If you just want to use the ball, for example, and let's imagine that ball weighs 10 pounds and you come out into an isometric hold in the lunge, and now I just want you to shoot the ball off to your left and shoot it off to your left. Keep shooting. Now a little bit lower. And come down into that lunge a little bit further. There you go. Stay there and just reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Dig, dig, a little bit higher. Good, good. That's fun stuff, right? You having fun?
Yeah.
So it's not just isolating the movements, it's having fun with the movement and integrating the rest of the body. Basic lateral lunge, you can tweak the speed, you can tweak reaction time. I can give a verbal cue where she's in that lunge, I could say, dig, 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 and she has to go down and get it. She has to go down and get it. So I'm also watching. If you can do that one more time, we'll do the slow motion thing again. As she comes down into a slow-mo, I can watch that knee and see how's it lining up. Is it staying in the box? Is it in a good position? Does she also have good mobility within her ankle? Does she have nice dorsiflexion? How's her back look when she's in this position? She looks perfect right now. So she's ready to go. She's exploded, or she's loaded. Now she can explode. Perfect. So it gives you an opportunity to take a look at the rest of the body as well versus just what the hands are doing. Okay, the next will be a reverse lunge, and I'll let you switch legs here. So you're going to put this leg on the ground, and the other leg's going to go back up onto the GTS. Now the reason I'm going here is when we took a look at some of those digs, some of them were lateral digs, some of them were more diagonal, and if you have a ball that comes short, you're probably going to lunge forward. So this is simulating that. Now it'd be nice if we could have the foot hit the ground, and you can probably figure a way to do that. But if we have one foot on the GTS, we want to control the other leg. It's a safety consideration. So now she just comes down into a lunge, just a basic lunge. And now she's lunging very, very much like you would see in a health club, somebody lunging, right? Now we want to act like this is a real sport. So what are we going to do? We're going to use a driver. She's going to use her hands to facilitate a response through the rest of her chain. So you're going to come down here with your hands. There you go. Just back and forth. A lot of balance involved here. And we know that this is a tweak down from the ballistic speed that you're working with if you're working with a real volleyball dig. However, it's kind of a different deal here. We're working on control. We're working on creating that functional foundation in order to decrease injuries, in order to facilitate. I'm taking her deep now, huh? Now you can maybe go overhead up here as you come out. So I've got all these different exercises. That's a different exercise in this. This is a different exercise in this. This is a different exercise from this. So you've got all these different components. How's the leg?
Good.
How's the rest of the body?
Awesome.
Because she brought a lot of friends in. She's got the back involved. She's got the hips involved. She's got the calf involved. She's got her smile involved. Everybody's happy. So that's our lunge. Again, tweak it with a weight. Once you start to add weight or you start to add speed, then you change the exercise again. So these are different ways to progress an exercise versus just better add weight. I'm just going to add weight. I'm just going to add weight. All right, finally, when we look at the dig and the ball's coming towards me, I looked real close at this. I saw, hey, my hips are flexed in conjunction with my spine, and if I go left or right, what does this look like on a GTS? You guys got it, right? It's torso rotation, and it's seated because I'm in a flex position. So I'm gonna bring you over here, and you have no idea what we're doing now, so I'm gonna have to really be good at my cueing. And I'm gonna have you turn and face that direction and just have a seat laterally. I'm gonna bring this board up here, or the pulley up to the third position. Bring here, and now, as you can see, she's in this torso rotation. I'm gonna have you scoot back just a couple inches so you have more leg on the board. And then stick your legs straight out, maybe cross them over. And now she's just gonna go through torso rotation. Now the thing about the torso rotation is, that's not what I was thinking about the dig before we even shot this, but when you take a look at the body as it's going through the motion, she starts to have these type of motions, and then I can start giving different directions. So what I want you to do is just come back to center. So come here, and you're just gonna come to here and then return. So that's gonna be your range. So it's gonna be dig, dig low, and dig high. So we'll come down, maybe even down a little lower, just the middle, and then out to the side. Boom. So this is it. It's kind of the same concept. We've taken the pelvis down out of it, but it allows us to kind of isolate, create a little bit more torque in the trunk to facilitate a better response with regards to getting the body over here. This is where everything emanates from. If I'm going to move somewhere, it's going to come from here somewhere. I don't take my hand and then start to go and my trunk follows. My center of gravity starts to go in that direction, so it's an intention that I have. So we're kind of focused on the intention now with the trunk rotation. Tweaks here are, you can increase or decrease the load. You can increase or decrease the load just by holding on. If you do the same thing, and let's say I want to add a little bit more to the beginning component, so you'll come to mid and stop, and now I want you to really power through it. And I'm just going to add a little bit of pull to this so that she has to really shoot it out there, and then we'll work on speed. I can give her a little help. So real fast and then back, real fast and back, real fast and back, kind of tough. And then you can obviously go into kneeling rotation. The reason I chose seated is because if you looked at the hips flexed and they're in this pre-position with this rotation, that's more like the sport than it would be with the hips extended up in a kneeling position. Thanks, Katie. This has been kind of a fun experience, bringing in a real athlete like Katie to work with us to do our volleyball skills. We've covered blocking, we've also covered digging, and realize that it's not just a dig. If you take a dig and you really break it down and look at the whole chain reaction throughout the rest of the body, we've got all kinds of little stuff we can get our fingers on and help our clients have a better functional foundation for their sport. We'll see you next time on Gravity this season.